Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is another Satan's cast. FAF is just back up now, but this will be another game from GPG Net. I've already watched this one, and there is no desync in it, and it's an interesting game. Let's have a look who's playing. We have Suspect up front. He was a he was a Seton's regular back then, and he was a good player. He did some creative stuff sometimes. Playing in rock position for the south side is MisterWHITE. He's a true Seton's legend. Has played a lot of games. Is a very good naval player. He is playing his best spot, which is rock. Of course, back then he was very good up front also. He usually does some kind of rush and usually beats his opponent really quick. Here on the beach we have Fredon. He's still playing on FAF now. He's good, but he's never been a real Seton's regular, I would think. Playing air for the south team, we have CaSiMuS. He's a really good air player, and I think he was already very good back then. So this looks like a very solid team. So playing front for the top team, I need to speed it, turn the speed down a bit. We have Dim14. I already introduced him in the last cast. He's one of Seton's best of all time. Playing in his second best spot, I would say, which is front. His best spot is rock. Playing as Aeon, it's his classic faction up front. He seems to have a very aggressive build here, with a lot of factories planned early on. So this is, well, definitely an advantage for the top side. And here on rock we have HB Unique. I must admit, I do not know him, but name changing was quite popular back then, and I don't know any of the names that showed up for him as in Bit Goblin, so I cannot tell you how good he is, but he will probably be a good match for fredon. Here on beach for the top team we have Aplysia. He is still playing on FAF sometimes. I think he's okay, but probably no match for MisterWHITE. But they have help. The top side, HB, galacticfear, one of Seton's best players, and he's playing air as Aeon for the top side. So I would definitely give an air advantage here to the top side and a front advantage. They will have trouble in on the left navy. White will probably be dominating on this side. I have no idea what's gonna happen. So let's speed it up a bit. We can see here at minute 2, engineer ahead of the commander. Seems like the suspect will arrive at front a little later than Dim. Dim did not send a single engineer, which is unusual, but of course he seems to have plans to kind of rush. This is a very aggressive build. We can see the hydro's already done. Just 2 pigeons on the power spam, so it's not very tech heavy. You can see he did not build any other maxes than the first. And now Star has 5 engineers on the factory spam. This is really aggressive stuff from Dim. We can see a Celine in the tank for Suspect. His engineer already arrived, getting some nice reclaim. But of course, Dim's commander is already reclaiming. And back then, you always went for those wreckages with the commander, because they had so much more mass in it. And so Dim already 1 wreck ahead. Don't know. Dim probably. I do not know. I mean, he has no intel. He does have intel, so he wanted to scare off the engineer, which he does successfully. This one should move. That's a pity. So now we see 2 engineers dropped off by MisterWHITE, and a couple of engineers, or light assault boats still in the transport, I don't know. But this is unlucky for MisterWHITE. 6 engineers getting dropped on the island by Aplysia. This is good stuff. Very, very aggressive. Sending 6 engineers, of course. Sending 6 engineers is also very risky. It's a lot of mass and a lot of build capacity that is not available throughout the whole process, and if it's getting shot, it's really bad. But if you succeed, it's really nice. You have a lot of build capacity here early on. We also see a bomber from Aplysia, so kind of aggressive. We see a bomber from MisterWHITE trying to solve things here on the island. We see 2 engineers were spread out. Those engineers should be spread, but we'll see what's gonna happen. And this was 1 engineer by MisterWHITE and 2 light assault boats, hunters. This is nice. Actually, it was 2 engineers. Really good stuff here from MisterWHITE, putting Aplysia in all kinds of trouble. He captured those maxes, which is really nice. The hunters are still in play. He has no radar. Now he sees with the radar from the bomber. Still 2 engineers alive. It would be perfect if MisterWHITE had some interceptors in this area, then he could really protect his units. But this is good stuff. Of course, with the factory up and already 2 flag here, I do not think MisterWHITE will succeed, and I think he should better use his bombers somewhere else. Meanwhile, on the front, we can see Suspect being on the backstab. M&B Dim coming in with his commander. There is a lot of troops. This is a lot of trouble for Suspect. You can see all those auroras. They do a lot of damage. They have a huge range. I think Suspect will die here at minute 7. Here he goes. Boom. So Suspect is down at minute 7. The first casualty of the game. This will not. This is not good for the bottom side. Losing their front player and basically giving Dim 14. Actually, Dim almost died too to the com explosion. With no opponent left, he usually comes up with some crazy ideas, and this is not good if he doesn't have an opponent. We see here some engineer drop. It was very common, I would say, or at least it was done frequently back in the days. Building torpedo launchers. I don't know, if you do something like this, you should do it here, especially against UAF. All the engineers die to the torp launchers, so I do not agree with this. Here you can see it's not doing anything. You can just wait till he has Tech 2 and then kill the space. We see another bomber with 3 kills already. We see a lot of bombers incoming from Aplysia. He's trying to kill these engineers, getting build power on the shore. We can see a drop here, but this drop is getting killed by MisterWHITE. Good positioning on the interceptors, or just got lucky. We can see Tech 2 Air by MNB, by Dim 14. Here's a top bomber. He's not doing anything at the moment. He has also Swift Winds in play. The bombers killed the max, not the engineer. Don't agree with this. Over here looks like one early frigate. You can see top launcher and another top launcher being built. No navy yet. This was a common place to produce back then also. We see a drop coming in. Don't know where he's going, probably for Dim 14 up front. CaSiMuS is actually ahead of galacticfear here at minute 10. Let's have a look. He's probably getting the first res. Yes, he does. He went with 4 pigeons and attack 1 commander. He's almost done on his first res. He starts his air factory here at upgrading to Tech 3. Let's have a look over here. The same is true. galacticfear still doesn't have the first res. He's not upgrading his factory yet. So it looks like CaSiMuS is ahead here. And will have air a lot earlier. By a lot I mean like maybe 30 seconds to 30 to 40 seconds, and I think he has a lot more build power. Actually now he's reclaiming his Tech 2 pigeons, not doing the second transfer right away. We can see the first ASFs out here at minute 11. And galacticfear is really being late here. 11:30, back in 3599. That's late. But he probably has a better eco at this point, and if there is no need for ASF early on, he will profit later with a better eco. Oh, we see a nice drop here by Dim 14. A lot of tanks dropped. Actually, if this is Tech 1 commander, if they did not go for the maxes, those 20 Auroras might actually have killed MisterWHITE here. Yeah, now it's not worth to shoot the commander anymore because he will not kill it. We see more bombs coming in, dropping a nice bomb. No, this is bad micro. He bombed the factory, he should have bombed the engineers. We can see the island still belongs to Aplysia, who has Tech 2 land and building a shield. So at this island with Tech 2 and Tech 2 shields, back in the days with the shields being that strong, I think this destroyer will never get the shield down. So, well, maybe one, but if there is a second, just not go away. We see more drops coming in by MNB, by Dim 14, sorry. So there are no tanks in this area, no PT. Oh, there are. What is this? Mobile A. Well, there is some tanks. Of course, this is about 30 units coming in, so this will do some damage, at least. We see this is the way you should do it. Send your interceptors first, then send the bombers. Let's see if he split them. No, they all bombed the same place. This is not so good. You should always spread them, of course. And it looks like MNB Dim is out of units. Of course, he dropped like 30 units here, 30 units here. So it seems like he's in trouble. We see also Tech 2 Ishivas now, and Dim already reclaimed all his factories, so this is trouble now. There is basically nothing to stop it. He has a Tech 3 commander, however, and can build PDs fast, but he will lose a couple of maxes. This drop, I remember this bomber being so good. You see, M&B was, Dim was probably busy microing his stuff up front, otherwise this whole area would have been destroyed by his drop, I think. But as it happened, this was an insane bomber, getting like 15 kills with one shot. Very good stuff by fredon, very good defense, choosing the right weapon to counter it. Meanwhile, on the left hand side we see Tech 2 Navy and Tech 2 Shield, Tech 2 Destroyer with a couple of frigates and torps. So MisterWHITE has to retreat. He has just a stealth boat. He has, however, a destroyer up also, but he cannot push. It seems now here at minute 16, I don't know, I didn't watch, there was so much other stuff. It seems like MisterWHITE took his island back, but there are still two Tech 2 engineers here, so if Aplysia pays attention, he can just build a PD and kill those engineers. We'll see how that works out. It looks like galacticfear has overtaken CaSiMuS, so it was just some late air strategy for galacticfear. It was probably with a huge eco. He has 50 ASF here at minute 17. Let's check how many CaSiMuS has. He has 42, so it's already in a slight air advantage for galacticfear. And this is strange. This looks like a tactical missile. This is air on tactical missile. I do not know what this was. This must have come. This was a tactical missile launcher. I don't know. Maybe Dim was angry with him. I don't know why. Don't know what was going on back then, but this is very uncommon, shooting his own teammates maxes. I think he shot 2 missiles, one here, one here. Not sure why that was, but sometimes people get angry. And we see Tech 2 subs. We see Tech 2 destroyers. We do not see mobile shields yet. He should definitely get them. There was basically the only way Aeon could survive against any other faction. We see a lot of shields and a couple of PDs for M and for Dim. We see the third Tech 3 max being done here. fredon spamming more Tech 2 pigeons. He has the first ras done already. I don't know why he should need any pigeons. He's consuming 3k and producing 7k and just consuming 2.5k. So this is a waste. He should reclaim those. This is all Tech 2 mass up front. Seems like all those subs are trying to do some damage. Of course, if there are no Coopers, that's the name of the Tech 2 torpedo boat. If there are no Coopers, those will do a lot of damage. But once he has a number of Coopers, those Coopers will dominate, especially if they are under shields. bad for Aeon. Do we see any plans? And we see hives here. This was very common to build engineering stations, especially with no shared unit cap, and engineers being more efficient than to build more factories. Unit cap was a problem almost every game, especially for the air player. And so thanks to ngMod this has changed, and there are more factories and less engineers, so no more need for hives. We see a couple of Tech 3 mass extractors here for MisterWHITE. It's mostly Tech 2. We see a nice navy here for MisterWHITE, and we see a bit less navy here for Aplysia, but you can always retreat. Just one Tech 2 factory. And now here is a drop. 6 artilleries in this spot. This is always annoying, especially if you have no artillery, if you just have tanks. You can actually put those tanks to the very edge. Let's see if he does it. Yes, he does it. So the tanks shoot down. You can see the tanks basically magnetic. They are not falling down the hill. This is good defense from Aplysia. And you can see everything survived, and just one storage killed. While that was going on, MisterWHITE decided to push. Let's check. MisterWHITE just 6 destroyers, 2 cruisers and 56 frigates, so that's a lot of frigates. And what does Aplysia have? Oops. Just 3 destroyers, 11 frigates and 8 subs, so this will be a naval loss, I think. But of course, if you have galacticfear as your air player, there is always hope. It's a bit strange. Dim 14 basically stopped playing as for now. He has no units and no build power up front. He has transported his Tech 3 commander to the back base, trying to build a new base here. He is probably afraid of losing any or both navy sides and losing his base, so he went here. And we can see a lot of gunships, Tech 2 torpedo bombers. This is good against frigates which are trying to kill your build power. You can always build Tech 2 on the shore, Tech 2 PD that is, and kill the frigates. Do we see the first airfight of the game? No, we don't. CaSiMuS doesn't want to airfight. Let's check numbers. Actually, CaSiMuS has 170, 168, and he has 203. So actually, if he trusts his air micro, he could try to fight as long as there was some AA left there. Pardon. But he doesn't do it, letting MisterWHITE's navy getting killed. Well, this push will be stopped as for now. We see good scouting here by CaSiMuS. Do they know what's going on? Yes, they do. You see Omni sensor on the shield. Let's check if the south side has an Omni sensor. It doesn't look like it. this was a typical mistake. A lot of people neglected the radar coverage back then, but it was as important as it is today. You need an omni sensor. If you have no radar coverage here at 26 minutes, you are playing blind, and playing blind takes away the ability to make good decisions, especially defensive decisions, because you do not see what you have to react to. We see more pigeons and more hives. Of course, those engineering stations are really nice. They have really nice build power, and when you know you have to kill your engineers later on to get more space in terms of unit cap, this is probably the best choice. We can see more engineering stations here. You see more engineering stations here. They're not doing anything because they are out of range. Don't think he should have put those here. More engineering stations here, out of range of everything. This is probably not the most efficient way to use them. We see MisterWHITE having a huge production, going for mostly cruisers now, which is probably the right choice given the air advantage galacticfear has, and you can see he's really pulling away in terms of score. Let's see what he does here. If he has anything special. He's building a lot of shields over his nuke D. But then again, he's building explosive stuff next to it. I would not recommend doing that. But of course, the shields were so strong back then, so this was probably a real safe place. He is building Tech 3 mass fabricators. Of course, this one is not very efficient. Back then, also as it is now, Tech 2 mass fabs are the right choice, but of course maybe he doesn't want to give away the unit cap to the Tech 1 mass fabricators, and that's why he builds Tech 3, even though they are less efficient. We hear a chicken now. There is, at least from this point of view, there is nothing, absolutely nothing to stop it. So galacticfear has to build air. The chicken now. He's already bringing in flag. This is the way you should do it when you know you're behind on air. CaSiMuS is already ready to fight air now. We see a lot of cruisers and a couple of destroyers coming in, trying to finish what they couldn't finish first. Meanwhile, I missed this a bit. We see a dying navy by Fredon. He has built cruisers, which he should not. As Aeon, there's really not a... I would not recommend to build cruisers a lot. Definitely don't build any if you're under navy pressure. So we see the chicken letting the base live, and there are no other units. This is just flag, so actually Dim's, all of Dim's Tech 3 maxes survive here. This is not good. I mean, I can understand that he wants to go in with the chicken as soon as possible before they have an answer, but this GC will definitely be done in time. Let me check if they know about... they must know the signatures and the different colors. This is a T4, they must know it. This one would probably have been better to kill off the entire eco. But of course, with this navy winning, they can do it later, but the cyber navy might not even reach here. So I think this is not good. You see the GC coming in now, and galacticfear has air dominance, so he can just throw a couple of bombs on the chicken if it's needed. This will not kill anything more, so Dim's eco still completely alive. No troops coming in, killing off the Tech 3 maxes that are just there to be killed. We see some hover tanks killing off torpedo launchers and build power. Oh, this was a nuke. I did not even... Oh, M and Dim. Seems like Dim built a very interesting base here in the back. I've seen them doing stuff like this a couple of times. Tech 3 pigeons, power storages, mass fabricators, build power, Tech 2 PD and shields, and of course a nuke, which seems like it's going for beach. The Tech 2 gunships. It looks like the top side has lost their Omni sensor and just have, remember here, they are rebuilding good stuff. From, oh no, actually that's Tech 2, I hope he upgrades to Tech 3. Of course you need an Omni sensor as soon as possible. You cannot play blind. Let's see if galacticfear notices it. Nope. So now the beach is getting nuked. Of course, when you're here as galacticfear without a radar, you really don't like to be in this situation. He's getting Tech 3 scouts now, which is what he should do. So this is good stuff. Because with those numbers, I mean, he has a lead in terms of ASF, but he cannot know by how far he is ahead. And if he gets a bad first turn because he doesn't see the planes, he might actually be in danger of losing here. So this is probably why he doesn't, or he hasn't killed the gunships yet. Of course, the gunships ran away now. And looks like MisterWHITE chose to not kill the space because of the Ravagers. And he does what he should do, just kill maxes in another place. This is kind of ridiculous that this base still exists. Just a couple of arties, there was just nothing MLB could defend with. Dim, sorry, I keep saying it. There were engineers given to Dim. I would guess that Gala is close to unit cap. Yeah, he was probably unit capped already. He has 390 ASF. He has already built a lot of refuel stations, however he still has 40 planes that are out of fuel. Let's check the numbers over here. We have CaSiMuS just with 279, so this is really a huge lead by galacticfear. But as it is, he doesn't use them. Gunships getting 3 kills. Does he have radar coverage now? No, he still doesn't. The radar looks like the radar ends here. This is still a Tech 2 radar. Where is their Omni sensor? Tech 1 radar. I don't know. Anyway, White should... Gala should definitely kill those gunships. I mean... there is no excuse for not killing them. It looks like one destroyer walked on land here, as it is. galacticfear getting gunships, Tech 2. Actually, you won't see a lot of restorers being built in those old replays. It was kind of a gentleman's agreement to not build them, because they were really overpowered in 3599. They were so cheap and they had did so much damage. You can see just 1200 mass and just 20,000 power. They had 7.2k HP. I believe it's something between 5 and 6k now, and they did a lot of damage, and they were just very overpowered. So They were just not being built. Galactic Fear sending 5 ASF, killing off the gunships. Don't know why CaSiMuS doesn't kill the 5 ASF. So, Galactic Fear gets some nice kills in, which he shouldn't. We see a GSC being built by CaSiMuS. Of course, this will put him more behind on the ASF count. But against Tech 2 Navy, of course, the GC can save the beach for some time. We see a lonely destroyer trying to finish off this base, but we see an obsidian here. This is a funny battle here at minute 33. One ship, one tank. Actually, Dim thought probably that this one tank will do it. I don't think it will. It looks like HB Unique has had enough. I don't know why. They were probably bitching at him. Actually, he was on the way to retreat his navy against nothing. So now the top team has a huge advantage because the rock base was just given to Dim 14. So we have Galactic Fear playing air and Dim 14 playing front and rock here at minute 34. This is, I would say, unlucky for the bottom side. They have no air. This Cyber Navy will have trouble against the Fat Boy and all the Ravagers with the Tech 2 PD here. So this base will put up some resistance. Does White have a plan for it? He's building Tech 3 Navy. Of course, Tech 3 Navy back then was much more expensive than it is now. We see an aircraft carrier here. Good choice.
Strategic launch
White
detected.
is trying to make up in terms of ASF. We see flag all over the place by CaSiMuS. Good choice here. You see everything basically covered with flag. We see Dim putting the navy to use. Of course, this is not a lot of ships. This is what M&B usually attacks you with at minute 15. We are here at minute 35. We see Tech 1 and Tech 2 mixes here in this space. We see, however, 2 Tech 3 air factories working for M&B now. And for Dim. Yep. We see another nuke. I think this is going for the spot here. That's 2 Tech 2 mixes, 1 Tech 3 mix. So don't know if this is the best choice. Of course, he cannot know if front is loaded or not, and he probably is planning on wiping out the front first. So right now it looks bad for the bottom side. I do not see any projects, any Tech 4 nukes or power guns or anything like this. I do not know how they we actually see MisterWHITE getting some upgrade on his commander. It seems like he already has laser, and those engineer cost 2,500 power each. So I remember this was laser upgrade, teleport upgrade back then. The cost has changed a bit throughout the time. Looks like CaSiMuS is stopping now. This is getting rather quick. So this is probably the plan. We see strategic bombers by Dim 14. Galacticfear playing really passive here. I mean, he has total air domination, and I'm not sure if this force ever crossed the middle line. I think they were somewhere here for a couple of seconds, but he's basically just turtling in, getting more advantage, but no strat bombers being built by him. Actually no offensive units at all. So what do we see here? We see a couple of hover tanks shooting us up. We see MLB now probably going for the nuke. Will the shield be done in time? It's a question. Yes, it will. So the shield, it looks like those bombers turned actually. He probably saw the shield going up and decided it's not worth it. Although it didn't seem like CaSiMuS was paying a lot of attention. He's moving now. He gave a lot of ASF to fredon. Looks like MisterWHITE is finally done with his teleport here at minute 36. We'll see what he can do. And this situation was typical for the latest game back in GPG, because game enders were basically, they were really rarely built. Things like Paragon, Yolona Ors, or Tech 4, Tech 3 artilleries, they were not built as much, and so right now you need one of those game enders to finish off the game. We see a second fat boy being built for Aplysia here. He does not have a nuke D yet here at min 37, but he's getting one. He has a Tech 2 commander with a shield upgrade. We see a lot of engineering stations being built by galacticfear. You see all the dead Tech 1 engineers and being replaced by engineering stations. Actually, I think some of them were given to him by by Dim. We see a third nuke with Dim 14 has 3 nukes here. This was probably his plan to win the game. We see an Eye of Orion, so he can scout very nice where all the nuke Ds are. We see some gunships. Don't know what they are built for. We see GCs being built for MisterWHITE here in the water. We see one GC walking in. I do not agree with that. I think this is a nice idea, especially if they do not see it. But they see it and they suspect monkeys to be built there, but the Tech 3 engineer is Aeon, so you should suspect him. GCs, but of course it is not a huge difference. And MisterWHITE should, that's what I did not agree with, he should not send them one by one. He has 4 plans, so he should build all 4 and then walk in, because with this much defense here, he will just drop a lot of mass in front of galacticfear, which is not what you would like to do. It looks like Aplysia disconnected here, and back then there was no auto give, so this base, there was no full share option also, so this base is gone for free. It's bad for the top side, but not that bad. I mean, they have a lot of reclaim if they can get it. Of course, the Navy now can move in, but with this kind of air domination and a lot of build power, you can see galacticfear already has a GC done. It will not, I do not think this changes the outcome of the game in any way. But we will see. And we see the GC is almost dead. Galacticfear just getting mercies. So the GC is dead. Of course, now they have the Navy in the bay, which they did not have that before. I think now remember the first airfight takes place, and this will be a huge lag now. And let's check numbers. We have galacticfear with 640 ASF. We have M&B with so this is 700 ASF for the North team. We have Fredon with 200, CaSiMuS with 240, and MisterWHITE with 55. So this is about 500 for the bottom side against 700 from the top side. So it will probably result in a loss. However, we see MisterWHITE being sneaky here and teleporting in, building a stealth field, and building Tech 2 missile launchers. Let's check if they could see it. Nope, they have absolutely no idea. And M&B, this base is getting in danger of getting killed. Meanwhile, we can see this navy slowly making progress, taking out the defense here. But I think at this point it's not. I think M&B Dim is just planning on winning the game with his new launchers. I did not pay attention, or we just missed it. I do not see where his bombers went. They were probably killed somewhere, or somewhere here over the ocean. So this will take a while until there are fewer ASF on the field. With 1,300 ASF fighting, it is still on this I-7. It is still a pain. I think in FAF they did a great job reducing the frequency of the ASF and the shooting frequency of the ASF, so you have a bit less lag in those situations. Of course, back then the ASF had about double the hit points they have now, so air battles took a little longer. This would be probably like a lot more ASF today. We see the Omni sensor here. We can see. I think the red circle is the circle in which they see stealth units. They do not see anything in this area. And it looks like the top side will win. I mean, they had a huge advantage anyway. And of course galacticfear knows what he's doing with his air micro. I think CaSiMuS was also very good on his air micro. Don't know about fredon. We see no green ASF left. White has already lost all his. Well, he did not have a lot to begin with, to be fair. So this base is still alive. It should have been dead. There is absolutely no defense. This is I think most people would build a defense, but M&B Dim just doesn't. He just basically trusts that the other team is not smart enough to abuse the fact there are no PDs or anything, so he just builds shields. A couple of artilleries would kill this base, but there are none. They are busy getting TMDs. This is good defense work here by fredon. All those TMDs will stop those cruisers until they get until they reach a critical number, and they are under shield. So he will probably be able to save the space for quite some time. He has a GC. I think this is the one given to him. No, maybe not. Or maybe this is the second one. Don't know. Either he built it or this was the one given to him. We can also see a nuke launcher by fredon and a nuke D which is not loaded. We can see Tech 2 air. This is Tech 2 gunships. Don't know. This is don't know why he's building those, because they will not do any damage to this navy. I hope this will get a bit faster now. This looks insane. So it looks like MisterWHITE has been spotted. I don't know how they saw it. Someone put an Eye of Ryan on there. And Dim 14 reacting real quick, putting up tactical missile defense, and of course the air and tactical missile defense. It just defends a short area, but it really defends that area very well. MisterWHITE somehow knew he has been spotted and moved away. So let's have a look. He should shoot 2 missiles at each of those. What would be 2, 4, 6, 8 missiles for here. I hope he doesn't shoot more. He shoots 1 each. This is not perfect, but of course maybe he has planned some more. This is nice now. I don't know. I thought those were 2 hitting there. Actually, I don't know how fredon died there. Maybe it was strategic bombers by Dim 14, or maybe he's just given up. I don't know. Or oh, I think this was a nuke that was launched during the airfight and was in the air for a couple of minutes. So yeah, this was probably the nuke. The commander alone, you can see 2 explosions. One probably from the commander, one from the incoming nuke. We see another nuke now. Finally, the game speed is back up to a bit faster. We see another GC walking in, doing minor damage. Of course, this is a lot of gunships. We see more. This is he should not send those ASF. They will not do anything. They will just get murdered by those huge ASF numbers here. We see some flag coming in, but of course he has a GC. So nice counter here. The gunships probably took care of those tactical missiles. They did not do a whole lot of damage. We see now a nuke hitting the front. We see another nuke incoming. So this looks really bad now for the bottom side. We see more strategic bombers bombing all kinds of different targets. The GC is retreating, the Navy is still here. Now we see cruisers incoming, getting rid of those maxes. They have been rebuilt, obviously, because there was a nuke earlier. Now we see another nuke, and we see strategic bombers getting in here. There should be some SAMs in CaSiMuS base. He has a couple of SAMs over here. I don't know, did they lose their radar? Are they playing blind now? They definitely do not have any omnisensors, so this is bad. They must change it as fast as possible. And I remember this being bad. MisterWHITE must remove his ships already, because he sees 2 GCs incoming and he will not even kill one with his small fleet, but he wants to keep the cruisers alive, of course. He wants to keep his cruisers alive, of course. He wants to keep his cruisers alive to have them against the gunships. So, but as it is, he lost the cruisers to the GCs, and now so now we see MisterWHITE doing the same strategy again, building missile launchers. Have they spotted him this time? No, they don't. We see more strategic bombers being built by DIM-14 here. They are probably trying to snipe some nuke defenses. This one will probably be the next one, so they can. And boom! Here goes galacticfear. This is a very nice shot here by MisterWHITE. This pretty much turned the game around a bit, because now you see everything is dead. There was like 500 ASF dead. You see 3 dead GCs. You see a whole lot of power, nukes, engineering stations, everything is gone. We still see incoming tactical missiles. Of course, DIM is reacting really quick with his gunships. Luckily for him, he got those gunships given. Now we see a lot of strategic bombers coming in for DIM-14. This will probably be enough to kill the nuke D. Yes, it does. It is. Now we see probably see a nuke. I expect a strategic launch. We can see DIM building a lot of pigeons, very quick with his commander. Of course, he has really almost infinite build power. This is a lot of engineering stations. So he has a lot of mass here to reclaim, but actually he needs mass. So he's building a GC. He should send some engineering stations to reclaim all these. He should also send engineers to reclaim this mass over here. But this was really a game-changing moment when MisterWHITE killed galacticfear here at minute 47 or so. It was a nice move. It would not work that frequently today. Now finally the front base, which should not have been there since minute 20 or so, is getting killed by MisterWHITE. Or maybe it does not even get killed. There are the gunships, but of course now the south side should have air. I don't think they even have air, despite galacticfear is all as SF. I'm not really sure. We see a strategic launch, so this will probably go somewhere in this area because it's not defended anymore. It's close because when you have that many engineering stations, you can really put some build power on the nuke D. But boom, this was not fast enough. We see another nuke by DIM 14 here. And we actually see the front base survives. We see NGCs getting reclaimed, gunships killing off a few cruisers. We see scouting by MisterWHITE. He probably wants to come back for some more with his commander, who's really changed the game. This now getting nuked, and this is still looking bad for the bottom side, even though the top side lost their player, and the top side also lost their beach player for free, and the rock quitting. Although when the rock quit, it was a huge advantage for the top side, but the beach gone was not a real advantage. It was not that bad either. Since White kind of wasted his cruisers here. DIM now getting SAM launcher up all over the place. Now air is really dominated by MisterWHITE here. Actually, those are all Sirens, so they were all built by MisterWHITE here. And so here's a real good air production. We see now strategic bombers by CaSiMuS, so they're probably trying to snipe DIM here at minute 52. But of course DIM has a commander shield. Let's check if it has the second shield or just the first. He has just the first, but this is still a lot of HP. And he has SAM launchers. He's building SAM launchers ahead here. He has a lot of build power, but of course the ASF can shoot the drones, and if you have drones under your shields, the shields get shot down. So I think DIM knows. We see MisterWHITE here building more tactical missile launchers. We see Galactic Colossus coming in. What happened here? Oh, he nuked that place. Okay. But MisterWHITE got away. We see a couple of strategic bombers incoming. I do not think this will be enough to really damage DIM. But this is all Tech 2 bombers, all Corsairs here, and they do a lot of damage now. We see the Corsairs hit, DIM building shields. He still has a commander shield. The shield goes up. MisterWHITE actually teleports in, getting shot, killing DIM. So he teleported in, and this was, I think it was an insane finish. It looked like a sure win for the top side until MisterWHITE really put off a very nice move with his commander. He built 2 missile bases, and the second was really successful in killing galacticfear. And then he suicide teleports in to take out the last player for the top team. Yeah, I really think it was a nice game. I would say the underdog team won, and this was quite nice. So I hope you enjoyed watching our GPG game with top players, and hope you come back for my next cast.